Hello and welcome to another episode of YEV, the Balanced Car podcast focusing on EV. And it's myself, Tim Aylen, and Kevin Booker today. Alex is busy this weekend, so we'll have him back next week, I'm sure. And this episode, we're going to be talking about electric cars we hate and petrol cars we love, because we're balanced here, aren't we, Kev?
Yep, that's it.
So, feel free if anybody wants to get involved in the chat. I'm sure that will potentially come later on. So where should we start, Kev? I think we should start with an electric car we hate. That might be a good start.
Or an electric car each of us hate. So,
yes.
And we've just realised it's paused when we went live. We've only just gone live for 6 seconds.
Okay. Well, if we're live again, then hello, welcome to YEV Podcast. The remix on repeat. And me, Tim Aylen, and Kevin Booker, we're here to talk about electric cars we hate, petrol cars we love. Let's go straight into it. Kev, an electric car you hate.
See, this is going to be controversial for a lot of people. I really hate the Volkswagen ID3 as an electric car.
Oof. Oh dear, oh dear.
So, and there's a reason for this, is it's not the car, when it was launched, it's not the car it should have been. It should have been the electric Golf, the electric car for everyone that was usable. And they kind of released it a bit unfinished. I mean, they've improved it a lot now, but I just think it's not the car. And what makes it worse is the fact that the Cupra launched after, and it was basically a much nicer looking ID3, which had a lot of the fixes. So I think Volkswagen really dropped the ball on that.
Yeah, and I'm going to agree with you. The first edition of, there is actually a model called the first edition ID3, but the ID3 is not, I don't like the look of it. I think the interior and the tech, I mean, yes, it was glitchy, which is a massive negative, but I just didn't like the controls. I just was not a fan at all. And Chargeheads Senior, Chargeheads Pops has the original ID3, and now he's upgraded to the new ID3, which is kind of better, but still it just it lingers a little bit, the ID3. I think the sooner that they can get back to an electric Golf, the better, as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah. Also, another thing is I don't think the reliability is that good. The number of warranty issues that I heard about the batteries on ID3s, although there is a decent battery warranty length on them, but just something to be aware of. Petrol cars. What petrol cars do we love as EV nerds? Kev?
See, now you're going to notice a trend with a lot of the petrol cars I love. Is one of the ones that I'm going to say is it's flawed as a car, but the Lancia Delta Integrale, because of the heritage and the fact it was a Group B rally car, and the fact you could basically buy the rally car for the road, and it's like it's a flawed car in many ways. You could say it's more flawed than the ID3, but it's got that heritage with the rallying behind it. And I don't know, there's something about an Italian car that there's that styling. So you forgive it, its unreliability.
Yeah, I mean as some people know, I had a Lancia HF Turbo once. I didn't purchase it. I actually got it for free. And basically I was in Bangkok, Thailand, and I was just chatting to someone about cars, because that's generally all I talk about in the pub. Just chatting to this English guy, lived in Thailand, and he said, "Oh, do you want to have my HF Turbo Lancia?" I was like, "Yeah." And I ended up calling his parents on this telephone number after traveling around the whole of Southeast Asia when I'd lost my driving license through speeding. And I came back, I called his parents and I said, yeah, your son said I could have his HF Turbo Lancia. And they go, not sure. They ended up calling him. And then I got a call back a few days later saying, yeah, you can come pick it up. So me and a friend went to go and pick it up. It was absolutely rotten, but we managed to tow it all the way from, I think it was in Lincoln, all the way down the A1 to Bedford, and ended up selling it for about 450 quid for parts. But I must admit, I did get to drive it once up my parents' hill with no brakes. Sorry, it was on a private road, I mean. And amazing car. But yeah, Anyway, there's a bit of a red herring there. Bevolution UK, he hates, maybe dislikes the Tesla Model Y. Unpopular opinion, I know, but it looks like an egg. I don't completely disagree with you, mate, to be fair. It's not the best looking car in the world, is it? The Tesla Model Y. And anyone that's seen my review of the Tesla Model Y performance will see that I said there's the good, the bad, the ugly. And the ugly was the old shape Tesla Model Y. Although it does look really nice in black with nice big wheels. But yeah, petrol. Sorry, go on, mate.
I was going to say the thing with the Model Y, though, is even though the changes to the revised facelifted model are quite subtle, they do make the old one look very old, even though the main shape has stayed the same.
I disagree, because funnily enough, there was a Top Gear presenter that said it was only a subtle facelift. The new shape Model Y looks completely different to the old shape. I know it's the same shape, but the front end and the rear end revisions completely changed the look of that car, in my opinion. I don't think it's subtle at all. Interested in people's thoughts on that one. Commuter branch lines popped in here. All VW EVs, they had the heritage, legacy, kudos, and prime position in the market, and they rushed to get out and get it out to avoid tens of millions of ZEV fines. Ford Escort Mexico for the win. I don't disagree. Commuter branch line, yes. ID4 is probably one of the most ugly electric cars and just the most uninspiring electric car. Bear in mind, it's basically ID3 times 10 for me. I really do not like the ID4, and the ID5 is just as bad as well. I'm sorry to batter VW here, but I really do not like them. They're just hideous looking cars.
And what makes it worse is that to some extent, Ford make a better Volkswagen EV than Volkswagen with the Explorer and the Capri. Because yes, you can argue with the name of the Capri, it probably doesn't need it, but actually from a styling point of view, Ford have got it more right, considering it shares quite a lot of the panels.
I feel we're going to lose a lot of people that listen and watch this, Kev. I think we get back onto the petrol cars. But yeah, no, I completely agree. The Ford Capri, and what was the Cupra version? Because we like the Cupra Born. Cupra Born's a lovely car. You know, drives better, nicer interior. I mean, the tech's a bit better. Still looks better. But what is the Cupra that's based on the ID4?
The Tavis. Is it Taviscan?
Their names are far too complicated.
I'm sure it's the Taviscan, and that does look better than an ID4.
Yeah, arguably better than the Ford Capri as well. But yeah, they're very complicated in their names. Them and Skoda, I always think. And I mean, I purchased a Skoda Enyaq. I don't think the Enyaq's a bad car. It's just the name. It's just probably one of the worst names out there. Hi, Gracie. Yeah, Enyaq is just, yeah. I mean, I know that the newer Skoda, the smaller one's supposed to be quite a good car. But again, yeah, one of those. But so, yeah, petrol cars I like. I absolutely love the MX-5. Doesn't matter which one. I just love the Mazda MX-5. It's just a great sports car. You literally cannot beat an MX-5. And funnily enough, we do have, next week, we're going to be talking about a very exciting electric car, which I think is going to really kind of break the mold, which we'll save for next week. But yeah, MX-5, one of my favorite petrol cars. I've not driven a Mark III or any of the later ones, but I've had a couple of Mark Is and driven a few Mark IIs, and yeah, great car. Have you driven many MX-5s, Kev?
Driven one. Driven the one with the folding hardtop, the newer ones. The MX-5, is it the RF with the hardtop? Yeah, driven one of those. I mean, quite efficient. I'm a bit too big for it.
Oh, yeah? You're cool, aren't you? You're like
6'1".
Okay, yeah.
So I'm just a little bit. So if I'm sitting in it without being hunched, my eye line is right at the top of the roof bar.
I don't think you'll fit in the T-bar then. I mean, you know, I'm 6'1" with Italian heels. But yeah, I'm 5'11" and a bit, to be fair. 6 foot on a good day. But okay, so you'll love the Skoda Piek. I mean, how do you pronounce the new Skoda? Like Piek? Can someone help me out with this one? Yeah, they've updated the new Skoda, haven't they? Anyone that's logged on what's your favorite petrol car? What EVs do you hate? We're mixing it up a little bit because we're balanced on this EV podcast, and I'm just really interested to know the EV people that normally watch this, who are interested in EVs. Which EVs really kind of get under your skin, and what petrol cars you like? But yeah, Kev.
I was going to say, you haven't said which electric car you hate yet. Not escaping that easily, Tim.
I really hate the Porsche Taycan. I really don't like it.
You've gone in at a high level there, like not a cheap budget EV here. You've gone Taycan, yeah.
It's I mean, you know, I'm sure it's a great car, and it's just, you know how many different versions there are of the Taycan. There's about 12, and I'm not talking. That doesn't even include the Sport Turismo. I don't think in that number. There's so many different versions. Plus, it's so blooming expensive. It's typical Porsche. You know, you pay for the badges on, you know, the crests on the back of the seats. Like, everything's an option. And unfortunately, all the fiascos with the battery issues that it had. And, you know, bearing in mind, I'm a bit of a Tesla fanboy. I think that there's a bit of angst. It always feels like there's a bit of angst between Tesla and Porsche. And I probably bring this from the TVR kind of rivalry as well. It's sort of like TVR versus Porsche, a bit of David and Goliath. I always like the underdog. Hence, I don't like a Porsche Taycan. So, yeah, it's really, you know, that is the best way to explain it. Like I said, we're probably going to lose lots of friends of Chargeheads here and YEV. But I thought, I'm just going to get out there. I'm just not a fan. Not a fan of the Taycan.
Let's see, I'm the opposite. If I don't mind the Taycan, especially the revised one, but what I don't find is, what's the point of the Audi version of it? Because it's the same car, which it's an Audi badge on it. It's like, if you're going to buy a performance car, wouldn't you buy the Porsche badge one?
I think the Audi RS does look better, though. I do think the Audi RS looks better.
I don't know, but it's not a Porsche. And if you're spending that sort of money, wouldn't you spend that sort of money and get the Porsche badge? Since the servicing is probably going to be exactly the same price-wise on them both. Well,
is this why Porsche never did an estate? Because they didn't want to take didn't want to reduce the numbers of the RS6s out there. Although you could argue the Porsche, the
RX6, there was a Porsche one with Porsche wheels and stuff, wasn't there? Which was pretty much Porsche.
Yeah, I suppose they do the RS7, which is kind of knocking on the door of some of the Porsche models as well. I don't know what. It's obviously a Sunday, and I did actually completely destroy myself on Dry January last night, and I had a Hawkston beer. I've got one left because it didn't even taste that nice. Really, really disappointed, because Dry January normally ends for me when it's my other half's birthday. You see, so yeah, I thought I'd stop it with Hawkston beer, and it wasn't that great. I hope, has anyone else got an opinion on any Hawkstone products? Pop it in the chat. Really interested to know where I should put my hard-earned money. But yeah, Porsche. Okay, so we've got a bit of a difference of opinion on the Porsche Taycan here. But I would take an Audi RS over a Porsche Taycan, I must admit. But I wouldn't buy one anyway, because I'd rather buy something else. Yeah, so petrol car. I've already said my petrol car. What about you, Kev, or anybody in the chat? Don't forget to whack in your cars that you absolutely, hate. We've got commuter branch line in here, but the EV Skodas and Seats sell in greater numbers over here. Skoda quality seems better too. For smiles per mile, MX-5 cannot be beaten. It's reliable and won't break the bank. Performance mods are cheap too. Absolutely, especially the supercharged version of the MX-5. Was it the BBR? Is that it? Can't remember. He has a soft spot for the Skoda Octavia VRS estate. Oh yes, good car that. As a practical dad wagon, better equipped with the Golf than the Golf estate, and 10 times the amount of them on the road for spares and winter. And do you know what? That's just reminded me of one of my favourite petrol cars, Golf R estate. So the Golf R is a bit of a chav wagon these days. You're gonna hear the pops and bangs. It's gonna happen. They tend to be chavved up to the max. But Golf R estate, you don't often see them modified. It's a bit more of a gentleman's car, I think, and it's just a do everything in any circumstance car. It's a bit like an Audi S4 estate, but it's better because it drives better. it handles better, it's more cost effective. The only thing it lacks is a good sound system because the dyno audio is rubbish. But Golf R Estate, I'm going to put that in a real, one of the best.
That's the all-wheel drive one. Actually, the person who trained me for my Institute of Advanced Motorists, his daily is a Golf R Estate, a white one.
Okay. Well, they did some epic lease deals on them years ago. Like it was something stupid, like £250, £300 a month with not many months down. They were literally selling them hand over fist. My friend actually had one and he absolutely loved it as well. I remember him driving me on a private road at some ridiculous speed and scaring me quite a bit.
What was the V6 Golf one?
R32.
Yeah. There's a certain EV, very famous EV advocate who used to have an R32 Golf.
Moggy?
Nope. Robert Llewellyn used to be a Golf R32 driver before he went into EVs.
I remember him saying on one of his videos once, actually, come to think of it, Hawkston beer is being brewed by tenants in Glasgow. Oh, interesting. Never knew that. If you want to laugh, Google ugly Russian EV. Tried to post a link, but it doesn't work. Was it Russian ugly EV? I'll have a little look, see what comes up. Oh my God. It looks cross between Postman Pat's van and something god awful with their arrow on it. That's an interesting one. We'll check that out. I'll try and share it to the screen a bit later on. Kev, what are you thinking? Another EV you hate?
Now, this will be a controversial one, and a certain third podcast member wouldn't agree with me on this. Is the original MG5 electric before the facelift.
Really?
It's like there's nothing fundamentally wrong with it, but it looks like a 90s estate car.
Yeah.
And it's like the facelift improved it massively. And it's a really competent EV. But judging by Cleveland, they're indestructible. I can't like that 90s estate car look.
I think if Alex was here, he would definitely put it on his hate list. I'm going to probably sit on the fence here because I completely get what you're saying, Kev. It is a great all-rounder, but I know exactly what Alex is saying because it is.
No, he loves it, didn't he? He had one as a long-termer. He loved it, and I'm like,
I thought he didn't like it.
No, he liked it as a car. It's just I can't get on with the front of it. It's just too. The facelift improved it massively. And the back's fine. It's just that like 90s estate car.
Okay, so BV Evolution has just put in, how about the MG ZS EV with the tiniest wheels ever fitted to an EV? Yeah, they weren't the largest. Were they 16s or 17s? I don't know.
I think it was just the shape of it made it look very underwheeled with it. But as a fan of like smaller wheels because they're more efficient, it's a good thing. But I get what he's saying. It did look a bit underwheeled. They didn't kind of fill out the arches.
Yeah, Commuter Branch Line agrees that the MG5 looks like a 1990s Passat. Although a 1990s Passat is very cool. You know, the one with the kind of just got the badge on the front. There used to be one that drove around near me, which was absolutely slammed to the floor because I live very close to Santa Pod, and there's some real diehard VW fans and people that restore VW camper vans not far away from Santa Pod. Obviously, Bug Jam and all that other VW worshipping goes on near me. But yeah, I'm just trying to think of other EVs that I just really get on my absolute, there are quite a few. I mean,
I'm sure there's one.
Go on.
I'm sure there's one that you need to recall.
Well, I mean, the one that I've got in my head at the moment is the I can't remember the name of it now. It's not the BYD. It's the other cheap one. Oh, it's the Dacia Spring. I hate the Dacia Spring. It's just so tinny. It's just, I just would never. Don't get me wrong. I like my dangerous cars, but I would never put my family in that car. And I know that there's quite a lot of people that are like, "Oh yeah, it's a great car," and I'm just like, really? I mean, Dacia. I mean, they've got some cool cars coming out, like the new. Goodness
It's like
me.
a hipster.
Yeah, the hipster looks really good, really impressive. I mean, I'm hoping that it feels a bit more robust than the Spring, but the Spring look. I mean, I've sat in here, I've had a little drive and stuff. I feel like if I lean on it, it's going to topple over. That's how safe it feels to me.
The problem I think the Spring had, it serves a purpose, but the Leapmotor T03 came out at the same price of it, and it made it look not as good because the fact that you shut the T03 and the doors thud shut, and it's like you just, I don't know. I think it made the Spring look expensive for what it is.
Yeah, I think the T03 is pretty awful as well. Having driven that, it's just so basic. I mean,
but there's a market for those cars.
Yeah, but I mean, the BYD Dolphin isn't actually that much more expensive, and that's a hell of a car in comparison.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that did impress me, the Dolphin Surf, that's a 5-star Euro NCAP car in that size category, which is almost unheard of.
Well, in news, I think the Model 3 and the Model Y have just absolutely smashed, no pun intended, the EuroCap testing recently. So they've won awards as being the safest cars out there, which is always good. Although it looks like the basic autopilot is coming off Teslas in America, and everyone's going mental about it. Saw Outspec Review going mental about it, because you have to now pay, even just for the basic autopilot, but you get the full self-driving supervised, $99 per month. Be interesting to see if they do that in the UK as well. So my dad's just put in Golf Mark 1 after I installed electronic ignition in 1977. Completely changed the response of the car. Handled really well after my metallic brown Ford Estate. Oof, metallic brown. Maybe I should put the TVR back to brown. That's its original color. Mitsubishi Ion Evo had a face only a mother would love. I didn't think it was that bad looking. I thought the Leapmotor T03 was worse, to be honest.
At least with the Mitsubishi, you could have it with choice of Citroen or Peugeot badge as well.
This is it. It's like a Citroen C1, Peugeot 107, and Toyota Aygo sort of vibe, isn't it? But
did you ever see the petrol version of it? There was a petrol version of the Mitsubishi iMEV. Yeah.
In fact, I saw a petrol version. Someone I think it was in Russia, had put a motorbike engine in the back, and they were using it as a drift car. It was very exciting. It's rear-wheel drive, of course. I must admit, there was probably the last couple of months I've been looking into Mitsubishi Ions and all those other cars as just buying a really, really cheap electric project. But after watching Outspec Renew videos about what happens to the batteries and how difficult they are to replace, not necessarily difficult, but it's difficult to get hold of the batteries, that actually it's probably not a good cheap EV in terms of longevity. But yeah, I think there's more, like something like the BMW i3 is a great car for that, because you can swap the battery, swap the 22 kilowatt hour battery to the 40 kilowatt hour battery, and use the 22 kilowatt for your second life home storage.
Speaking about i3s, that's another electric car that I'm going to say, this is going to be controversial. I hate it because, I hate a specific version of it.
Oh, right. The Rex.
The Rex one, because I, back in the day, ran 2 on my fleet, and guess which bit went wrong? And luckily it was under warranty, the bit to connect the Rex bit to the electric bit. So one of them had this weird gearbox issue with it. So it sounded like, when you go to London and the tube trains are slowing down, that sort of noise they make, that sort of that noise, it started making that. And both of them had to have basically gearbox, or the actual interconnect gearbox replaced on them.
Oh, God.
And it's like...
Well, they're supposed to be pretty reliable. They've certainly done quite a few out there, done quite a few miles, haven't they?
Yeah, I don't know, it just seemed the bit that seemed to go wrong was the bit that connected the petrol bit to the electric bit. And the other thing is, have you ever driven an i3 Rex when the battery's flat and it's just on its engine?
No. What's it like?
So it's a motorbike engine which can produce about 40 brake horsepower.
Oh, God. Right.
So obviously you're going to get some generation losses as well in that transfer.
Yeah.
So if you flatten the battery totally, it goes from being a 170 brake horsepower car to feeling like a 35 brake horsepower car.
Wow.
So it's like, it's just, I think it was better as a full electric car. And the another annoying thing is it looks really quirky, but how do your back passengers get out without the driver or passenger getting out?
Oh, yeah. It's like another Mazda MX-30, isn't it?
Yeah, because the seat belts are on the door.
Oh, is that the same with the MX? I think the MX-30 is the same as that as well, isn't it? So
yeah, so you can't basically you have to get out, even though it's sort of a 4-door, you have to get out to let your passengers out because they can't get it's
they might as well have just made it.
You have to open the door. It may as well have been a 3-door.
Yeah. Wonder why they made it 5-door.
Just
why
not?
Could have been insurance, it could have been sector, that sort of thing. Commuter branch lines actually hit it on the money now. The Renault Fluence came in EV and petrol. I didn't realise it came in petrol as well. Did you know that, Kev?
It was. I didn't think it was called a Fluence in petrol, though, was it?
Oh, okay. Be interesting to know.
Wasn't it something slightly different?
Don't know. Comment in here again from commuter branch line. The BMW i3 was a car ahead of its time. Carbon fiber monocoque body was straight out of F1. The full EV was technology tour de force. Sadly, only 4 seats. It's a bit like the story of the Audi A2, isn't it? And it sounds like the Audi A2 is coming back to haunt many. But it just the Audi A2 is definitely the BMW i3. They're both an odd-looking, high, vehicle. Still see a few Audi A2s around though, like monster mileage on them, aluminium chassis, aluminium frame, and all the rest of it. Amazing car for its time.
See, I really like the A2.
Yeah, I thought you might. That 1.4 TDI, that's a bit of you, isn't it? Full on fuel efficiency.
Yeah, and there wasn't a vehicle that had that same engine, which it's not really an EV, but another Volkswagen. That weird one. Oh, the names escape me. The one that went, the one that was a range extender or a.
I literally hate that car. It's wasn't it the? Oh shoot! It's the
name escapes me. Now I'm gonna have to Google it.
Yeah, hang on. Let me just search it up. Isn't it? I want to say the ID1.
Don't know.
What is it? What is it? Let's find it. Hang on. It is the XL1.
The XL1.
I hate that car. I mean, that's that. Some people class that as an electric car, so I'm going to put that as my electric hate. And I'm going to show people.
Remember that it didn't even have an onboard charger, so you had an external pack to plug it in.
I mean, it looks quite cool. It's got the gull wing doors, and and I know there's a lot of VW nerds that love that car, but I am not a lover of that car at all. Because there used to be one in the dealership that I used to work at. Used to walk past it all the time, and apparently it was a car that was forced upon them. And then all of a sudden, like a few years ago, it's like, oh, these cars are really rare and really sought after. And I never saw that car as that. I just saw it as being just a car that used to get in the way when I was walking across the dealership because no one wanted to drive it. But yeah, it did get an award or a record, didn't it, for driving so far.
The problem with that car, I mean, the one thing that car did emphasize is that was back in the day when VW were innovative and would try weird stuff. I mean, now it comes back to the point of the ID3 it's not really interesting. ID2, on the other hand, and the new models that kind of look a bit like the Polo, that could be their comeback potentially.
If you think of the ID2, right? For them to come out...
the ID Polo now, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry, the Polo. Now, when that was first launched, they said, oh, it's going to come out this time. I knew that car was going to take a while, and they just had to come out with something just to show willing. But they've got some strong competition. I mean, how is it really going to be better than the Renault Clio and all the different variants of the Renault Clio? Was it Ford Fiesta, the Nissan Micra? Nissan Micra that has an extra 2-3 miles range over the Renault Clio, if you didn't know, a Renault 5, sorry. You got the Renault Twingo as well. I mean, there's some really strong small cars out there. They are really going to have to pull it out the bag. Yeah. And I just don't think they've got it in them, personally. If they rush the market, which I think that's what they're going to do again.
And I think it'll be too expensive compared to the competitors. If they follow the Volkswagen trend, it'll be a good few grand more than the competitors. And will it have more range? Probably not.
But the thing is, if they call it a Polo, you know what the Polo crew are like? They'll buy everything. They'll buy anything that says VW Polo because they'll think straight away, oh, it'll have the residual value. Oh, it'll be reliable.
Do we know anyone who likes Polos on the podcast? I don't know.
Isn't it? Hey, my first car was a Polo. I put a massive V shape in the bonnet with the use of a tree. But yeah, no, obviously Polos are strong, safe. I mean, they're a very dependable vehicle, and I think it's the right thing to do for them to switch it from an ID2 name to the Polo name. And I think it will probably do well, but that doesn't necessarily mean it will be a good car, because there have been some Polos that have been awful cars. I mean, I don't think the Mark 4 and 5 are okay. The Mark 6 was pretty awful. But yeah.
And they've always been quite weak in the GTI space, the Polo, haven't they?
Yeah.
You had the G40, but then the GTIs have always been almost watered down to make sure they're not as good as the Golf GTI.
Yeah.
It was almost, it felt marketing that it basically, we can't make this car close to the Golf GTI. It has to be slightly worse in every way.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of VW bashing going on here. Has anyone driven the Mini Estate with the barn doors? Looks quite strange. I mean, I think the Mini products are really good, but again, like the BMWs, which is pretty much the same thing, they're so darn expensive. So darn expensive. I must admit, I think a great electric car to buy if you don't need space is the original Mini Electric. Great little car, fun car. So my money would be, rather than buying a new small car, just go and buy a used electric Mini, because they're what, like 10 grand? Well, last time I looked, they're about 10 grand. And I don't think they've moved much from there, because I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but as more people are getting into electric cars, it does seem like prices are kind of steadying in the used market. But like I said, I've not looked at Mini Electric for a while, so let's just have a little goosey, because they did the level 1, 2, and 3 being the higher spec, level 1 being the lower spec. There's a few options. I did a review on the newer shape Mini because I was lucky to drive the latest of the Minis, and it was an amazing car. And I drove them back to back. I did quite a few views actually, so go and check it out.
Yeah. I've never driven the electric Mini, but I really like the BMW i4.
Yeah, 10 grand. Oh, that one's 9,750 with 80,000 miles, but I don't think they've really changed in money for the last year as I've been looking. But yeah, you can get a Mini for 10 grand, 70 plate, 43,000 miles. And that is an SE level 1. There we go. Great car.
I used to like the ones that had the power socket alloy wheels.
I was just about to say that. Snap. Yeah, I love it. Love those wheels. I'm going to have to find them for everyone. I'm sure people know.
That look. I'm guessing, though, they don't make sense in any other country because they're a UK 3-pin socket they're designed to look like, aren't they? So does that mean in other countries they're like, what, there's a weird-looking wheel?
Yeah, but Mini's a British car. There we go. Look at that. Who doesn't like those wheels? I'll pop it in. Who hates those wheels?
See, I like those because they look like a 3-pin plug.
Yeah, proper. VW now capsulated and buying EV tech from SEAT, Xpeng, and Rimac Automobile. Well, that's probably why they've actually started to do a bit better.
Yeah, because isn't there a new Audi that's actually an IM5 with a different body shell on it?
But is this the Audi with the rings, or is this the Audi logo?
It's the Audi with the word Audi on it.
Yeah.
I think it's exclusive for the Chinese market, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not coming into the Europe, I don't think. Yeah. So, we've been talking far too much about electric cars, Kev. Let's balance this up a bit. So, petrol cars we love.
Yeah. Your turn now, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, I did say Golf R Estate actually last time, so it's actually your turn.
Oh, right. Oh, petrol car. Well, there's one petrol car. I've actually got a model of it over, hang on, my shoulder there.
Is that a Skyline? Sorry, R35 GTR.
Yeah, the newer one.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of them.
Yeah, but it's the car of the PlayStation 2 generation, isn't it? Because didn't all the user interface and graphics were designed by?
No, the R35 GTR wasn't even in Gran Turismo 2. I'm sure of it.
Maybe it was free, but maybe it was free. But I know that they got Sony Polyphony Digital to do all the graphics for it.
Yeah, I think that was probably the Gran Turismo 3 or 4. I don't think it was Gran Turismo 2.
I'm gonna have to Google when it was launched now.
Right, someone get on it. You get on it, Kev. The reason I don't like the R35 GTR is because the gearbox was automatic, and it was rubbish. It always used to, poo itself if it had too much power. And just like, all the other Skylines were like pretty bulletproof, and they were kind of the 90s. Pretty sure they're all in the 90s, aren't they? The R34 was maybe late noughties, but 90s Jap cars, you just can't beat them. But as soon as it got into the noughties, just reliability. They didn't used to over-engineer them as well as they used to, in my opinion. So out of the Skylines, although I had a 33 GTST, I'd love an R32. And I know that 33 is good in so many ways, but I just want the R32, the original Godzilla. That would be mine if we're talking about loving of petrol cars. I kind of should have bought one when they're about 12, 13 grand because they're all like crazy money now.
It was launched in 2008.
Yeah, the R35.
No, the one that's the Nissan GTR one.
Yeah.
The one
yeah, for sure.
World's most practical supercar, according to the press thing.
Yeah.
Wow, do you want to know the price that it was? Even for the black edition when it was launched?
I remember, funnily enough, I've driven a black edition. This was years ago. We had one come in part exchange when I worked at Audi Northampton. 75 grand.
No, launch price was 55,500.
Yeah, it was 50, wasn't it? 50 something.
That's cheap now. When you think that like a Skywell BE11 is 29, and that's one of the cheapest big-ish cars.
Yeah, my dad's just said about the new Audi Q3. I saw Matt Watson's review. I thought the back of it looks hideous. The front, as Matt said, it looks generic. And I just think it's the fact that it's not electric. I mean, who's going to buy that? I just don't think it's going to do all that well, really. It just seems to be, it's not going to be really a company car, is it? Maybe a couple of the hybrids. But...
And I never got the Q3 because the Q2 was on the same platform as it.
The what, sorry?
The Audi Q2 and Q3 were both sharing the same platform.
The A3 platform, the MEB platform.
Yeah, so what was the point of a Q2 and a Q3? What was like... I just don't. They seem to be again.
They sold plenty of them. The Q2. I had a SQ2. That was a great little car. It was like an S3, but on stilts. But I quite like the Q2. Q3, just the sitting position wasn't nice. But the Q4, I've not really driven many of the Q4s. That was like after my time. So Lewis has just mentioned that there's a new MG4 Urban, and I've not heard of this.
Yeah, so it's basically going to be a city version. So they're going to lose all the smaller batteries in the MG4, and that's only going to have the really big battery, the 77 thing, and that's going to be the more city version.
It's not a bad looking car, actually. I mean, I think the back's a little bit interesting. That's not a bad looking thing. I mean, MG, I really liked the MG5S. I thought the interior was nice. I think the look of it's good. I think MG SIAC, I think they really have got a strong position now, haven't they? They're absolutely smashing it in the UK.
Well, look at some of the leasing deals on IM5 and IM4. They're like, some of the leasing deals are like 429. Yeah,
but I don't think I don't think the IM brand is doing that well, is it?
I don't know. It's got the quality and stuff. It's the interesting thing is in China, the IM brand is a standalone brand. It's not an MGIM. And if you look at the IM in China, it's got a full wraparound screen. The screen wraps around the whole dashboard.
Right.
Which is why I don't think. No, you don't get a glove box in the UK ones because it doesn't have a glove box in the Chinese ones because it has that massive wraparound screen.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's something about the look. It just doesn't work for me. I love the interior. I love the spec. I love, the headline figures in terms of its charging speed, its performance, everything else. But there's something about, it's just too, I don't know. It just looks it's too big and it's too rounded, if you know what I mean. Commuter Branch Line has said for his nostalgic fondness, he loves up a Land Rover Defender 110 from his army days. He drove one around Bosnia, for 6 months, covering about 40,000 miles. Hearing the clash of the engine brings me back. The only Defenders I've ever driven was one on a 4x4 course for my 30th birthday, which my wife got me. That was some years ago now, over a decade. And the Tesla-powered one from Electric Car Converts, that thing, go and watch the video on Chargeheads of me driving that, because that thing absolutely took my breath away. It flies, and it feels like it shouldn't. But yeah, I've never been much of a Defender guy. I actually quite like, and I'm sorry to say it, quite like a Ford Bronco.
I'm guessing in a Ford Bronco, you don't need to sit to the weird shape like the Land Rover. You're like twisted or awkwardly, because ergonomics wasn't a thing then, was it?
It's all those 80s like American films and early 90s with the Bronco. Just like, I just love it. I just love to have an EV converted, one of them. Oh, I've just remembered one of my favorite. It's not really a petrol car, although they did do it in petrol. Toyota Hilux Surf.
Ooh.
Do everything, completely bulletproof, does everything. I mean, you can't knock it. I mean, what doesn't it do? Other than go around a racetrack fast.
I'm trying to think of another. And there's another petrol car I like, and it's going to lead into an electric car, which I think will be pretty good, which has been in the news.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to sound like another YouTube channel, though, who hates EVs.
Oh, yeah.
Is the Volvo T5 Estate.
Yeah.
It's the touring, when they did that mad thing of bringing an estate car in touring car.
50, was it Mike Rydell and Harvey, wasn't it? I used to love that. Yeah, because we were a Volvo family. My parents, they had a 740 estate and a Volvo 340 back in the day. But yeah, those 850 touring cars were wicked.
Yeah, and that comes on to another thing. Do you see the announcement about the EX60? Or the electric going to be longer range than the Neue Class iX3?
Wow, it was like 500 plus miles.
Yeah, and over 300 kilowatt charging.
Well, I've decided that I literally don't need an electric car with range, because I can only make it 60 miles before I need the toilet these days. So literally, I think what's going to happen as soon as the TVR is ready, I think I'm going to have to sell my Tesla and just drive the TVR, because to be fair, it's going to have DC charging still, which is great. So thanks to Russ and Dimitri for that. And yeah, that's 40 kilowatt hours, 120 mile range. Even on a good day, 110 miles is my max before I need to go to the toilet. So, why bother? Why bother having a bigger battery when you're going to stop for a Jimmy Riddle? I can't, what's the point? It's extra luggage, as far as I'm concerned. It make it slower. So what's the point of having a bigger battery? No point.
Has it got a power roof on your TVR? It might have had a power roof.
It's 1985, Kev.
They had electric roofs in 85, I'm sure.
Not at the TVR garage, they didn't. Mate, it's got electric windows and electric mirrors. So that's about as electric as it goes. So we've actually got an update coming for the TVR this Wednesday. So if people could support that video, that'd be really good. Some exciting things have turned up. And I don't think it's going to be long before we're starting to do the battery boxes. So we are going, great guns. Lewis has just mentioned he loves the look of the IM cars, but the quality on them versus Tesla and efficiency makes me feel I'd be getting a Temu Tesla. To be honest, I think the quality is better in the IM.
Yeah, I didn't have any. There wasn't any rattles and stuff.
I mean, I really driven one, but I thought the quality inside was really good.
And I know it's a gimmick, but I quite like the rear wheel steering.
Okay. Yeah, it needs it. It's bloody long, isn't it? I think the gimmicks is like what BYD used to do with the screen that like swivels. That's
I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah,
because I've watched, because it was an issue I found with polarized sunglasses. You can't see the screen in one orientation.
Yeah, I don't see the point of it really. Commute branch line. Tim, replaced my flooded Model Y with a Model 3 rear-wheel drive Highland because its range is better than my bladder range. Absolutely. Well, even my wife's Tesla with 70% battery health left has got better range than my bladder. Honestly, I'm such an old man these days.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm in the Geely EX5 this week. And that's, it's not it's not the biggest range SUV, but it's over 200 miles still this time of year, which is quite impressive when it's a LFP battery because they generally perform less well in cold weather. So, and it was doing its WLTP figures.
Well, when like people talk about range on electric cars, we don't talk much about range on petrol cars, probably because there's petrol stations everywhere. But I can only really think about 3 cars that I've had, petrol cars, and I've had a lot of cars that I can remember what I could eke out range-wise. So the Toyota Alphard that I had, which was a big MPV, which we turned into a camper van, 3-litre V6 petrol, cost about £80 to fill it up in petrol. That could, if I drove it like Miss Daisy, it'd be 300 miles. My Audi S3, when I had a fuel card, so fuel efficiency did not matter, I would nearly get 300 miles out of that. And my TVR, I wouldn't ever want to go more than like 150 miles in it anyway, because the fuel gauge was a little bit funky. But yeah, it's funny. Sorry, go on.
Well, if I think back to my first brand new car, a Punto Sporting petrol car, I loved that car, but it was about, you wouldn't get 400 miles out of it on petrol, and that was just a 1.2 with a 6-speed gearbox and stuff. So cars ranges, it's only that sort of the diesel era, like, was it 2016-ish or 2012, when you had those ludicrous ranges, but a lot of that did it with a ludicrously big fuel tank. It's like, I remember my Mercedes C-Class could do 1,000 miles between fill-ups, but it had a huge fuel tank.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, funnily enough, it just reminded me of I visited a Ionity charger, and this works really well because the first time I ever visited an Ionity charger, which apparently are great, I was visiting it in a Skywell BE11. Or as I call it, the Skywell Bell, because lovely people at Skywell. I'm sorry to say this, but the car, I basically had the charger stuck in that car. I was there for 4 hours. I did a review, and doesn't actually show that I got stuck for 4 hours an Ionity charger, and I didn't know where the release was for the bonnet. In fact, no one did, which was a bit of a issue. But we managed to get into it in the end. But I did visit an Ionity charger more recently in the Tesla, and it was fine. It only charged at 65 kilowatts, even though it was capable of 350. It's probably because my battery was cold. And it cost 79 pence per kilowatt hour, which was rather expensive compared to Tesla charging. And I did a little video talking about that example. And there's so much hate about stopping to charge, waiting to charge. You wouldn't see me do. It's so funny when you do anything related to EV stuff, where there's any kind of chance for a negative comment, any of the EV crowd, the haters, they jump on it straight away. It's really, really funny. Really funny. But yeah, hated car, Skywell BE11.
I've got good news on that though, Tim.
Oh yeah.
There's a new Skywell BE11.
Brilliant.
It's a revised one. And I think you were even before, you were in a pre-production one. I think so. You weren't even in a production one, because I
remember trying to go around a corner at speed, and it pretty much nearly killed me and went straight on. I think that was something to do with the tires, some Chinese brand, I think.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I drove the production version, and they fixed all the charging issues because that was the one I did that epic 600-mile trip in a day just to prove it could, and and it just worked. It worked flawlessly on all the chargers. Nice. But the good news is, again, the Chinese manufacturers are really agile. If there's issues with a car, they will turn around and do a model modification really quickly. You know, the same was so they've added adaptive cruise control on it now. It's got a permanently lower price. So, and I've got one coming in a few weeks' time. So I think it could be interesting. Now the price point is lower and they've listened to customer feedback and fixed a lot of the issues. It could be a very different car. And that, I mean, that's the thing. I did a LinkedIn post on it. The Chinese manufacturers are so agile at changing things and improving things so quickly. Whereas it would be for a traditional, European manufacturer, potentially like, oh, we'll fix that at the model facelift. Yeah. The Chinese will do that mid-product cycle. I mean, even so, like the Geely X5, I was about to write my review of it, and my one criticism was that it didn't have Android Auto. Running Club last Friday said there's an update, and now it has Android Auto, and they fixed all the criticisms about like no shortcuts and stuff. So the Chinese brands are really, really agile at fixing stuff like this, and I think they could teach. I mean, I suppose in a way they've learned it off Tesla, because Tesla, as a software-defined vehicle, have been very quick at doing that.
Leon, how you doing, mate? Good to see you in the chat. Apparently, Leon had a Skywell BE 11 for 10 days on trial. So it's good on long distance. Absolute bargain from about 18 grand now for a year-old one. Worth a pop. Big battery. Yeah, good shout. How you doing, Leon? I hope you're well, mate. Yeah, that's
the thing you said about, the tires. I mean, that's an easy fix for a person to modify. I think probably a good set of, a tier 1 tire, I think would change the handling totally.
Yeah, no, definitely. Okay, so trying to think. I think we've done quite a lot of hating on BEVs, but I feel like that there might be another one left, and that's got to be the electric Rolls Royce, isn't it? Surely. Have you seen that?
I kind of like it in the chavvy purple and chrome, though.
Oh no! I mean,
but your driver drives your Rolls Royce, though, and you're a passenger, isn't it? That's the thing.
But it's a 3-door, isn't it? With the doors that come out. Surely, if you're being driven around, you get driven around in a 4-door sedan. Surely.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with I just feel with a Rolls Royce, you get driven in. A Bentley, you drive yourself. And where's the electric Bentley?
I mean, they're a bargain at £280,000. I mean, 120 kilowatt hour back. I mean, admittedly, I've never driven one. I've never been driven in one, and I probably never ever will. And that's probably why I hate it so much. It's just the opulence. I'm all for a capitalism, but it's just like, oh, there we go. Here's your purple one. Is that the one? Hang on. Can't really. It looks like something out of Cadbury's chocolate. Is that the one you were thinking of?
They did one with the bonnet in chrome, though.
That's the one. Well. Yeah, it looks like it's something out of Thunderbirds.
That's their launch color. That was.
Oh, that is hideous. That is absolutely hideous.
So so what you're saying is you're not going to get any press cars off Rolls Royce now, are you?
No. Oh, sorry, guys. Yeah, I think luxury EV is not really my cup of tea. But saying that, in a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to be doing a video on luxury EV, because it's not something that I really know much about. So I thought I'd deep dive into it with a friend of mine who's looking to change his electric Lotus R Electra, the SUV. I think that's what it's called.
Well, I've just seen a comment from Leon.
There's my point there. Sorry, say again, mate.
Just seen a comment from Leon on the Leap Motor C10.
More refined.
Because this is one thing that really annoyed me about the C10.
Right.
Software-defined indicators.
What,
so like the early BMW ones where you ended up playing indicator ping pong. because you couldn't switch them off. You cancel them and
yeah.
he puts them on the other way. Oh, it was a nightmare for that.
They're saying wait for the Zika. Yeah, there's the Zika's coming through soon, isn't it? I mean, there's the commuter branch lines put that new concept Jaguar that looked like something out of Thunderbird's reboot. Surely it must be loath. I actually quite like it. I'll be interested to see what it actually looks like when it comes out. I hated the ad campaign. I absolutely hated that. But in terms of the actual car look, I thought it looked mega. And talking about, what was it? The Stig recently has bought an XJ220. That's an extremely cool petrol car and very, very under-loved in terms of, it's really interesting actually. If anyone interested in the XJ220, now the Stig's bought it, it comes up with some really, really interesting facts about it compared to all of the other hypercars at the time in terms of its, what it managed to do, top speed, the price of it, and the fact that it was more luxury than your sort of Ferrari F40s, which were a bit basic. But, I love the Ferrari F40, but I suppose if you're going to live with it and use it as a everyday GT car, the XJ220 is quite a nice thing in comparison. Looks like Kevin's got the fit of sneezes at the moment. How are you doing all right, mate? What was it? How many is it before you orgasm? I forget. Lewis has put, you could get it wrapped. Yeah, you could do. That's true. Wrapping a rolls, I'm sure that would be cheap. How about converting a Robin Reliant to electric? Call by me, governor.
I'm sure someone must have done it.
That would be cool. Well, I know that Paul Compton, the EV guru, he did a Reliant Kitten, which is pretty much a Robin Reliant, but with 4 wheels, isn't it?
See, I think they missed a trick to make it more unwieldy, the Robin Reliant. They should have made it front-wheel drive.
What car? The
Robin Reliant. If they made the Robin Reliant even more unwieldy, they should have made it front-wheel drive.
That would be hilarious for someone to do an EV conversion on one of them. I wouldn't have thought it'd be too hard either, would it? Because it's transverse, and I don't think it would be too difficult.
No, you'd just stick a motor where the engine was, wouldn't you? Because it's rear-wheel drive.
That would be, that would be.
And hilarious. I mean, you wouldn't need to even go for a car motor. You could do something like a washing machine motor or something. Oh no, that was a Sinclair C5, wasn't it?
Do a DC motor, yeah, out of a forklift. That's what a lot of them EV converter crew used to change the engines for back in the day. In fact, there's a Daihatsu Charade, which is one of my old cars I used to have, but in the GTTI form. There's someone that put a DC motor in a Daihatsu Charade, old shape thing, and it goes like a rocket.
Johnny Smith's flux capacitor was DC motor, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's what they all used to use, the DC motors back in the day. I think it was easier from a controlling and getting them working point of view. But yeah, I'm like genuinely really excited about the TVR build for the update. So if anyone's interested, like I said, go and check that out. But yeah, I'm sure we'll have Alex back next week. And like I said, we've got, depending on what's in the news, we've got a very exciting topic next week in terms of a specific car that I want us to talk about, which I think could be a bit of a game changer in the world of Petrolhead / Chargehead arena. So, but yeah, there we go. But it's going to be an interesting week this week. There's been lots of interesting news, whether it's Tesla, Chinese electric cars coming out. Is there anything that's on your hit list, Kevin? Anything that's happening in your arena?
No, not much. Just soon I will be getting the PE11 to see the improvements. So I'll report back on that one.
And on that bombshell, I think we'll leave it there. But thanks everyone for commenting today, and we'll look forward to catching up with everyone next week. And don't forget, if you haven't got it booked in the diary, check out the Chargeheads car meet on the 28th of February. Bring whatever car you want. It's just going to be lots of car people talking about cars, which include electric vehicles as well. But thanks everyone, and we'll see you next week. So it's bye from me.